Hey guys, welcome to Comfy Cozy Up. So this video we're talking about the book of final. So this is the last 6 books that made it, and I completed it. The last one I literally just completed. This is the 7th Moon of Molly Almeida. Words. So let's talk about this book in terms of how I feel about them. This is not a review video, so if you want to see like my actual review of each of these books, I will link them in the description so you can go and check it out. But I usually talk about the books in terms of what I think about the selection of the book final this year, why I think certain books might win, why I think certain books is just a no. Just my total thoughts. And if you love some of these, I don't know what to tell you. If I don't like it, I just don't like it. If there's a particular book, I got questions. But we're gonna just go through this and I will give you my rundown. So the first one I'm gonna talk about is that short, sweet, not very few words, but hit you where you need to be hit, and you just are going to appreciate it. And this is Small Things Like These, Claire Keegan. I think this was just absolutely a book that you just need to read at least once, because the writing style in this gave me modern classic. It gave me the 20s, the 30s, those kind of books that like the open-ended, those kind of books that take you on this journey and have you stop and think, and you are not feeling a certain way about it because it take you where it needed to take you in order for you to really grasp and use your thoughts on the subject that was discussed in this. I like this. Is it a book a winner for me? No. I would not pick this as a winner. I would be shocked if it won because of the other books that I will talk about. So, not a winner for me. Then we have Elizabeth Stroud, and I was like, I'm going to read all the books that I can read in the series. At the time, I didn't realize there was 4 books in the series. So I've only read 3, and of course I read her big book that she won an award for, which is Olive Kitteridge. And so I talked about this in the video where I highlighted her and I reviewed all of the books, so you can check that video. Now, I like Elizabeth Stroud. She is my kind of author. She is an author I would absolutely read some more of her books. It's something about the matter of the heart and how she writes story that pulls you immediately. How she really pulled her audience. Like, you're reading her books and you felt like you're just having a conversation with the author. Like, she is like creating these characters that is like connecting with you, and you like, oh really, you know, that kind of shake your head when somebody's talking to you. That's how I feel about her writing style. Now, is it a book for me? Absolutely not. Compared to the other ones. However, am I going to read a lot of her books? Absolutely. Did I really enjoy her books? Yes. And so she's a phenomenal writer. No, I can't even like say anything bad about her writing, because I really thoroughly enjoy her writing style and her books. But as far as the other book, because there was some I felt like the storyline was stronger and more memorable, more powerful, more that. So this didn't give me that. Every year there's always that book. Always that book. I'm like, how did you get here? You know, I have my Deborah Cox's voice in my head right now. How did you get here? And this is how I feel about Trica Walker. How did this author get here? I didn't care for this book. Absolutely not. I tried. I literally tried. I was literally like going through this book saying to myself, give it more push. No, there's more. The metaphor of this just didn't do it for me. This was a no. It was a no for me. Just a no. This win, I might throw the book. I'm joking. But I'll feel some kind of way with this one. Oh my God. No author comes for me. I don't throw books. So, then we have absolutely phenomenal book, The Tree, Percival Everett. Now, this can win. This can win. I will be freaking jumping up if this won. I will be jumping up if this won. This book really gives me, how do I be politically correct? There are certain things that your imagination go there with, and you think of it when an author put it on paper. You're kind of like, ooh, that's some scary-ish. But then you're thinking of, there's that whole, maybe because I'm Caribbean, that whole saying of souls, dead souls, people who were killed and didn't get justice, and and what if they sold, the Duppy story. Yeah, but this is a creative writing book. This is an author that has had so much experience. He's written so many books that I never knew about, but when I looked him up, he had tons of books out there. He's a professor. He went into this, I don't think, even thinking about his getting to the level of an award. He is a creative writer that just took a chance and nailed this story. He nailed this. He got what he was meant to do as far as being a creative writer, and it just happened to work in his favor, and I enjoy this a lot. Then we have Glory and Novella Bulawayo. Let me tell you, I would say this has been the most entertaining book I've read this year. Entertaining, but also powerful. The author just gave me everything I want in a book, where I am like, I'm walking away from this book getting something from it, but I'm also walking away entertained, laughing, seeing how ridiculous like the world we are currently in, and how the author portrayed those, where I don't know anybody that can't relate and realize some of the things that's happening in terms of relating to where you at, your location where you live. And although this is a Zimbabwe author and talking about a story that is more pertaining to her country, no, I'm Jamaican, and I was like, yeah, and I was doing a lot of that because how she made this so relatable. This is also the author that had me reading Animal Farm. I've never read Animal Farm, and there's a lot of people I know that picked it up for the first time, and there's a lot of people I know that reread it because they read it when they were, a child in school and did not even get the how powerful that book is too. And so an author that can make you go pick up another book is always a yes for me, and that's how I was with this. I read that first because I was like, let me read that and get into this. I absolutely love this. Was like a yes, hell yes. I am rooting for this book. I am rooting for this book. And then the last book I read, Seven Moon. This is the kind of book that if this wasn't an award, I probably would have put it down, because it took me a minute to get into this book. I didn't grab this book in the beginning. I literally was just like reading a couple of pages and putting it down because it wasn't grabbing me like I wanted to grab me in the beginning. Nevertheless, once I got over that hurdle, because it took about 60 something pages to get over that hurdle. I'm just being honest. Once I got over that hurdle, I was kind of like, oh, this is some creative juice flowing up in this book. And then I thought about it in terms of the afterlife and how it's done. Now, it is a kind of book, I think it falls more to me in the magical realism, in that aspect. And Duppy story sometimes is not for me. The McKenna ticket. So I was a little struggling at first with this, but the author had the suspense for me. There's that suspense because what's happening in this story, this man is dead. You're in his afterworld, and he has 7 moon to accomplish something in terms of to basically save his friends, but he doesn't know how he got killed, or even his body per se. And so there's that suspense of what's going to happen if he doesn't accomplish what he needs to before the 7th moon. Also, how did he get killed? Why did he get killed? That kind of deal. And then there's also these other things happening where they're looking for negatives for these photos and what it's supposed to symbolize, and it's known to be, it's something scandalous, but you kind of like where it's going from there. The thing about this, it was hot and cold for me. There were moments where I'm like, ooh, 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 turn the pages, and there was moments where I'm like, I'm bored. Can we get to the good stuff? You get to the good part. So I struggle with this, and the thing about it is, I wouldn't be shocked if it won because of the complicated writing style and subject, because it does pack a lot of things in this book in terms of politics, in terms of the sexuality, because the character is a closet gay man. There's all that in this that I think some people are really going to really love this. And it also skipped to a time period in the 80s, Sri Lanka, and what they were dealing with, political unrest, which is why I think when I think of these three books, which I highly believe the winner is one of these, highly believe that. So when you think of these three books, these two are very similar in terms of its political unrest. It's scandal. It's how it's talking about this, things, the corruptions and things that's happening in that. And then you have this, which is very similar to this, because you're talking about Duppy. It's like, what? You're talking about Duppy, you're talking about injustice. A lot of injustices in this is in both of them as well. War crime. This, has the war crime. You have this, the civil unrest with, black people being killed and lynched and nothing happening. So they're very similar in that per se. But I think there's so much similarity with these three books. Although the stories are completely different, there are things in it that you just like, oh, that's just, that happened in this happened in this, that kind of deal. But how the story is told, it's very much creative writing style. Very much, interesting work. Especially these two. These two are really a creative writing gems. Like the authors really did their thing with these two. So I personally this is not my favorite. But like I said, I damn sure want to be shocked if it won, because I can see why it would be loved, and the booker does like these kind of complicated writing style. But I just wish I enjoyed it a little bit more to really give it that yeah. But again, wouldn't be shocked if it won. But these two are my favorite. These are my favorite. These are my diehard. These are the ones that I would be screaming if they won. But if I was forced to make a decision, which I wouldn't want to make a decision, but if I was like, you gotta choose, I have to go with the book that if you were to catch me 5 years down the road and ask me about the book, I'm still gonna laugh. I'm probably gonna talk about it. Let's chat, and it will be Glory. Yeah. This book is hella memorable to me. Like, I was just like, you need to read it. You need to read it. You need to read it. I was, I'm Oprah. Read it. But then I'm like, read this. It's so, it's such a tough decision, because both of these are my favorite. It would be hard to really pick, like I said, if I had to pick, because these two are my favorite books, for reason that the writing was such creative, powerful. There was a particular scene in this that I would never forget. My poor girl was on there saying her speech and getting killed. and going. I was just like, just grab you. I just thought the author was like, snatch me up with that part. I hope I didn't spoil it for nobody, but read it if you haven't read it. But then, this one too is like those reading of names, and and Granny. You gotta love your granny. in this. But it's just such a powerful book as well, and it's just eerie, and I just love how it ended. And then you in my head, I can see this as a movie. I absolutely can see this as a movie. I think it was just be absolutely fantastic as a movie, so I hope they somebody pick it up. I also think, surprisingly, this will be a good movie as well. I think the movie might make me love the book better, because I think if they execute the movie how this book is given, I think it would be amazing as well. But yeah, this is a hard one, but yeah, these two are yes for me. So that's it, guys. That's it, the book, guys. So I have a few days. I will definitely do my reaction video. You know what? You know I have to. And I will post that the same day. I will try to do the reaction video and post it the same day. I think this comes out Monday the 17th. So, and I will see who they pick. Let's hope it's a fave. And yeah, again, let me know what's your fave. And you know, just let's chat. Let's chat. And again, if you have a book of your favorite book and I didn't go for it, it's okay. We can have a different opinion. So anyway, I will see you guys in the next video, and thanks for watching, guys.